Okay, so now, okay, you guys get that. Oh, this is one to show you. Okay, so remember I said I was going to come back to this tool, the content collector tool. This is so neat. I've never used this tool. But say for example, I have this layout now. I'm happy with it. But now I want to duplicate this on a different document for some reason, or duplicate some of the elements on a completely different document. So I do file, I do new, I do document. We'll do the same thing. We'll change it to inches. We'll just say create. We'll go to pages. I'll pull down a page and I'll pull down another page. So now I have facing pages. So this content collector tool, if I click on it, you see this little box here? It starts collecting different elements of this layout. So let's click on happy. Let's click on this. Let's click on that. I'm collecting different elements of my, oh, it's only let me do 4 for 9. Okay. I'm collecting different elements. So now I click on my new untitled document. Now, right now I'm at collector. So if I click on something, it's not going to let me do anything. But if you hold it, content placer tool, I can then place these elements in here, and then they'll keep all of their formatting that I did. This is actually the word happy, even though you can't see it because it's not color. But it keeps all of their its formatting. So if you're doing these huge documents, it's actually an amazing tool. You can just collect all of your information. You can put it in a different document.
Yeah,
So
it's like a copy and paste, but
yeah,
a lot. They copy a lot. You can copy a lot.
exactly. Copy and paste, and you can keep all of its formatting, which is really nice. You know, because sometimes you copy and paste this, you have to create the text box again, blah 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 blah. But
Oh
it's a
yeah,
yeah.
more
Um,
detail. Yeah. Cool.
All right, so I want to show you guys how to now, say you have all your pages laid out. Say, for example, I want to copy this entire layout. Control All, Control C, Control A, Control C. Now I want to paste it, but I want to paste it in place. Edit, paste in place. So now I can mess around with this and change the color, and you can sort of have like, I sort of like what I did on this first page, so I can sort of keep it and change elements and yada yada yada. So now I have my whole document. Pretend like I have my whole document, right? So now I want to say this is a large catalog, and I need to number the pages, but I don't want to sit there and say 1, 2, 3 and do all that, right? So what you can do, this is so cool. You have to go to your master document. So let me double click on my master document. And let me make sure I can see my guidelines. I'm going to put a number now. Usually on your front cover, you will not have a number, but I'll show you what to do. But you take your text box. Let's create a little square here in the corner. Okay. Thank you, Lord. Okay, so insert special characters, markers, current page number. All right, so what happens now, you have this page number in here. I'm going to put it in the middle of the thing, and I'm going to, so here's my page number, right? So now if I copy, Control C, let me double click on page 2, and then I say Control V, and I'll put it here. Now it numbers it for me. I didn't have to put in 2. It numbers it for me. So then I double click on 3, Control 0, and say File, edit, excuse me, and then paste in place. And then it numbers it as a 3 for me. So I don't have to go and change every single number. And when you have a 50-page document, you just say edit, paste into place, and it already does it. That's page 5. And then you can do that on the even pages as well. It's a really cool tool, so you don't have to sit there and go through all of the pages. All right, so that is that. And I think that's everything. Oh, okay. So now, do you guys have any questions? All right.
No.
So the final thing is when you're trying to get this to a printer and you have to export it, and the best way to export something is a PDF. And because it gives you all of your elements, you do not have to send fonts or anything. Okay. So let's file. Let's first of all save it. Okay. So we'll just save it as, let's see, clients. We'll save it as an InDesign file because, of course, you always want to keep your InDesign file that you're working on because that has all of your layers and everything. And you also, when you create something in InDesign, and it's the same thing with Premiere, which we'll work with tomorrow, is that you want to keep all of your elements in one place. Okay, so what it's going to do, because all of these elements are not in your actual InDesign file, they're pulling from something, they're linked to something. That way you can have a higher resolution file that you're linked to without bogging down your InDesign file. So all of my images were in an images folder. So I'm going to save in my training InDesign. I'm going to save my InDesign file inside where my folder is so that my images will be pulled from the folder in the same place my actual file is. That makes sense, I'm sure. So we'll save it. So my InDesign file is saved. So now I want to export it. So you just simply do File, Export, PDF print. We're going to do a print file because we want it to be a high quality file. So we say save. It'll give us some options here. All right. So we want to go here. This is what I always use, is a high quality print. That's the first one here at the top. And everything else looks good. And you say export. They're just telling me some text problems, but that's fine. You export. And then we go back to our folder. And here is our PDF. And now do you see how my images are nice and crisp? And they split them up in pages, but my images are crisp and everything looks really good. If we zoom in, because again, those were just placeholder files. So we have these nice images. Okay. And that's really it.